All right.
We still have people in the waiting room.
If we've got anyone in the waiting room, please feel free to let them in. Thank you for those that have joined. Before we officially get going, we do have cart captioning available. You can access that by pressing the CC button and adjusting the settings for that to your preference.
Kelly?
And then, yes.
This is Kim Harris. I'm the sign language interpreter. I just don't see my picture up there.
All right, so Laura is the host and she can go ahead and assign,
Okay.
what you're gonna do, Laura, is pin,
Okay.
either pin or spotlight, so we'll double check both. And
All right.
thank you everyone for your patience as we navigate this, and we'll get started here in about 30 seconds. This fun and informative and also competitive webinar is going to be recorded, so folks will have access to the recording following the live session today. So we thank you for joining us. And today we are going to be talking about assistive technology for baking. And more specifically, we will be going over 3 of the smart ovens that we have in our inventory, as well as a few assistive technology devices for cooking in the kitchen in general. We will have 4 videos as a part of our training today, and you can certainly use the chat to type your questions. You can use the raised hand feature throughout. And like I said, this will be fun and informative and slightly competitive. So we will go ahead and get started. So welcome. I'll go ahead and go to the next slide.
And I don't see myself yet. And so I don't know if I'm being seen from other consumers. I don't know. As a sign
Okay.
language interpreter. Yeah.
Laura, are you able
Yes.
to see?
I have pinned and so I can see you. But I'm going to try to also do the spotlighting. One second. Thank you for making sure we know.
There we go.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you for your patience.
All right, so we'll go ahead and move forward. So my name is Kelly Blackwell, and on this slide we have each of the presenters' names. So I'm the co-director for the Michigan Assistive Technology Program. I have a vision impairment, so I use the smart oven that I will be highlighting through an app that's fully accessible using VoiceOver on my phone, and it pairs with the oven. So, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. And Erin?
Okay, my name is Erin Shannon. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am the youth and community living AT specialist for MDRC. And I use the oven that I will be highlighting. It can also be run through an app. And there's all sorts of other cool features that we'll talk about in a little bit, but that's me. Laura, do you want to go?
Sure. My name is Laura Hall. I'm another AT specialist with the Michigan Assistive Technology Program. I specialize in the areas of automated home control, and Dragon Naturally Speaking. The oven that I'm going to highlight and brag about today is called the Cosori, Cosori. My oven also works with an app, but it additionally works with Alexa.
Okay, I'll move on to the next slide. So what we are going to cover today is certainly an overview of our program. We're going to go over a basic definition of assistive technology, and if you have participated in our Tech Tuesdays or other trainings, you likely will be very familiar with this. We are going to go over using the Cosori oven, which Laura just spoke of. Using the Tovala, and that is the oven that I will be highlighting. And using the June oven, which is the oven that Erin will be highlighting. We also, as I mentioned in the very beginning, will be going over other kitchen assistive technology that can be useful for many folks. And we will have a moment to highlight our lending library as a part of the MATP. The image on this slide is of a young woman with dark skin and braids. And she's sitting at a table working on a project covering it with stickers. I'll go ahead and move to the next slide. Laura, do you want to cover this one?
Yeah. So we want to start out with just talking a little bit about what assistive technology is and how we define it within our program. So we define assistive technology as any item, piece of equipment, software, or app that can be used to help people with disabilities, including older adults, do what they want to do. People often ask us, well, isn't all technology assistive? And that's true, but one thing that we say is that technology can make things easier for everyone, but for people with disabilities, assistive technology opens up possibilities. And there's a few pictures on the slide that I'll describe. The first one is of a woman walking outside on a sunny day using a walker. The second is of a brightly colored medication reminder pillbox. The third one is of a doorknob turner. That's more of a silicone grip to turn the knob. And there's another picture of a person holding out their hand with the rock. And we add these pictures just to demonstrate that AT can come in a lot of forms and serve a lot of purposes. So we'll get into a little bit more about our lending library later, but assistive technology is anything that can make it easier for you to do what you want to do. Next slide.
Okay. Laura, if you want to cover this as well.
Yeah. Letting you know a little bit about Michigan Disability Rights Coalition. Our mission is that MDRC cultivates disability pride and strengthens the disability movement by recognizing disability as a natural and beautiful part of human diversity while collaborating to dismantle all forms of oppression. So what I like about working at MDRC is that we definitely view disability through a disability pride lens as something that's natural and beautiful. And not only do we focus on disability issues, but we recognize that as people with disabilities, we're parts of various other types of marginalized communities that are being oppressed, and we need to pay attention to those communities as well in our work. So we're very intersectional with how we conduct our work. Next slide.
And Erin, do you want to cover this slide, please?
Sure. So things to know about the Michigan Assistive Technology Program is that we are a free service. It's federally funded, and so we can provide demonstrations and short-term loans of AT devices for anyone in the state of Michigan. So we go all the way to the tip of the UP, all the way down past Detroit to the Ohio-Indiana borders. We cover everything. Again, we can do demonstrations. So if you call us and you say, I'm having an issue with this, or I need supports with this, we'll go through with you and talk about what we have and what might work for you. And we can come to you and show you how to use them. So if transportation is a barrier, that's an option. We also do trainings like what we're doing today, and for schools and businesses, again, for disability pride, and just so that they're aware of our program. And then again, we can do short and long-term loans. So if you decide to try a device with us and you want to try it out for a longer period of time, because things are really easy when somebody's showing you how to use them, right? And when you're sort of left to your own devices with them, they can be kind of a mess sometimes. But if you want to try them out in your own environment, we can do that. And then one of the really nice benefits, I think, of our program is that we say that we're by people with disabilities, for people with disabilities, their allies and other community members. So what that means is that everybody that works on the Michigan Assistive Technology Program experiences disability in some way. So we do have some practical life experience that informs the way that we work with folks. I cannot tell what's on this slide because the speech bubbles are in front of it, but it looks like a computer screen that somebody might be talking to someone else on a computer screen, like using a video.
Yes, that is correct.
Excellent.
All right, I'll move to the next slide. Do you want to go over this slide as well, Erin?
Sure. So these are just a few examples of other AT devices that we have for cooking and eating. The greenish bag on the left bottom hand corner is a boil bag. So if you are boiling something like potatoes or eggs or something, you can put it in before the water starts boiling. And then there's a silicone piece that kind of hangs out that you leave outside the pot. And so when whatever you're cooking is done to the level that you like, you can just pull it out using the string and you don't have to mess with boiling water. We also have a sample of some of the liftware that we have that stabilizes spoons and forks for folks to make eating easier. We have a picture of one of our visual cookbooks. So if somebody has a print related disability and pictures make it easier for them to cook or follow directions or anything, they have that option. Then there's two things that I like to say look like Twizzlers on the slide. They're actually oven rack burn protectors. So if you're reaching into your oven, you don't have to worry about burning your arm or your hand. And then there's a liquid level indicator in the right upper corner that's blue. And that is designed to perhaps indicate to somebody that experiences a visual impairment, if they're filling their coffee cup or whatever up too high, it will beep and vibrate. So you'll know to stop pouring.
And Erin, if we can pause for just a moment. I'm working from home today and the trash is being picked up. So if my dog barks, can one of you quickly mute me? He's being good right now, but and then would you mind, Erin, sharing the fun guesses for the boil bag that folks have shared with us?
A lot of people think it looks like an old style shower cap, because it's got kind of a, I don't know, like a florally design. So I could see where it would be easy to pull over your head and think it's a shower cap. I don't know how effective it would be because there are holes in it, but I'm trying to think. That's my most favorite one. What else do people say? Generally just shower cap, I think.
Yeah, I think generally it's the shower cap, plus people just love, it's kind of a, for folks that have sensory stuff going on, many folks have just liked to squish it because it does have a fun feel to it. Yeah. All right, we'll move to the next slide. All right, Laura, you are up. Let your device shine.
So, for your consideration, I present the Consori oven. The Consori oven is the size of a toaster oven. It is sold on Amazon and other places where you can buy your what am I thinking here? Where you can buy other types of
Appliances.
appliances. That's the word that I was losing. One of the things I really like about the Consori is that it has 12 functions that are set as presets. And I'm going to go over them quickly. So one of them is preheat, air fry, bake, toast, roast, broil, keep warm, dehydrate, pizza, slow cook, defrost, and ferment. So I've never fermented anything in this oven. I've honestly just mainly used the bake and the toast feature. So it's really nice because you can fit a rotisserie chicken in there if you would like. You can fit a frozen pizza, and again, there are presets for the pizza function. It's heat safe. It has a glass door. It fits about 32 quarts. It comes with a nice cookbook of recipes that are compatible with the oven and that you can cook in the oven, and that comes for free. It comes with a crumb tray and a baking rack. And the nicest thing I think that I like about the Consori oven is that it can connect to Alexa. So of course I just activated her. So when you get the Consori, it asks you to make a special name for your oven. So you're not using Lady A as the name of the oven to accidentally turn it on. I'm actually not going to use the name of my oven. I'm going to call it something else, like Bob. So I can say to Bob, set the oven to bake at 325 degrees for 10 minutes. That's how I cook these wonderful cookies that Erin provided us with to try these all of these ovens together. We had some wonderful dough that was handmade by Erin, and my cookies came out delicious. It seems to respond to Alexa quite well. You can also control it in an app. One of the other features that you can do with Alexa, besides just telling it to bake or what function to use, you can also adjust it. So adjust the time or the temperature, stop, pause, or resume. And you can check the oven status. So you can ask Lady A if the oven is on, or what the target temperature of the oven is, or when the food will be done. So you can set it to preheat, and then it'll beep and let you know when it's ready to start heating, obviously. So nice little oven with a lot of features that works with Alexa, and I think it's the wave of the future.
Awesome. And the next slide is a video link for a short video clip that gives some specific details about the oven. So I'm going to stop screen share so I can pull that video up. And then Laura and Erin, if you want to monitor the chat and see if anyone has any questions as I'm getting this video prepped.
Yeah, I'm wondering if anybody uses like smaller oven, toaster oven type devices for cooking, or even if you don't, what is it that you like to bake?
Don't see any responses as yet.
Well, I'm just going to personally say that I loved to bake Erin's cookies.
They're very fluffy and light.
The slice and bake cookies, that is also my jam.
We talked about just making the break and bake cookies, and Erin said, no way.
Nope.
We can't do that. So we all got our special bags of Erin's specially made dough. I used the toaster oven quite a bit when I was in college, just because I didn't have a lot of space. And I forgot to mention that I do have a mobility disability. I have cerebral palsy and I use a wheelchair. So access to reaching things and being able to control things with my voice is really important because sometimes it's easier than trying to place something in an area, and especially in a crowded kitchen, that's down where I can reach it. And also sometimes the buttons are not easy to reach or the knobs are not easy to turn. So just being able to use your voice is so important to me. And there's so many people that we've worked with that maybe for whatever reason don't have the use of their hands. And Alexa and some of the devices that I connect to have been life-changing for them. We got a comment from Rebecca that says, I have a Breville countertop oven, but I like the idea of having one connected to Alexa. Oh, but I've swayed one person. Kelly and Aaron haven't even got to go yet, so.
Well, that's okay. Mine's the best, so we'll get there.
Well, I think mine is the best. So, all
I
right,
do
I've
have the
got the
Breville
video
countertop one
queued.
too, though.
You do, Aaron?
I do. So right now I have 2 ovens. I feel very much like I'm on a cooking show, but it's really fun. Did you say you're ready, Kelly?
I am. I just have to get the screen sharing with the sound. So when I select sound for the video, you all are going to hear my screen reader for just a moment. Let's try this and see. They've got different options now for sound. Okay.
Create button. Notifications account menu button. My app center button. Skip button. Play keyboard shortcut K button. Play K. Skip button. Space.
Yep,
Guide button.
Hi, this is Rob. The Kosori Smart 12-in-1 Air Fryer Toaster Oven Combo.
Participants can now see your screen.
They call it a 12-in-1 because it has 12 different cooking functions. Preheat, air fry, bake, toast, roast, broil, keep warm, dehydrate, pizza, slow cook, defrost, and ferment. This is also a smart device. You need to download the vSync app to your smartphone. You must create your own vSync account. With a vSync account, you can also allow your family and friends to control this air fryer toaster oven. You can use the vSync app to connect this smart oven to Amazon Alexa. The dimensions. The exterior dimensions of this 1800-watt oven are 16.9 inches wide, 15.5 inches high, and 16.3 inches from front to back. The interior dimensions are 13.4 inches wide, 8.9 inches high, and 12.8 inches from front to back. The weight of this oven is 22 pounds. What do you get in the box? The air fryer toaster oven itself, 1 food tray, 1 wire rack, 1 fry basket, 1 owner's manual, 1 recipe booklet, and 1 quick reference guide. The control panel. The power button. Press the power button to turn on the oven. Turn the control knob to select one of the cooking functions. The current cooking function will blink. We will select air fry. Press the control knob to confirm the selection. Each cooking function has a default cooking temperature and default cooking time. The defaults for the air fry is 380 degrees at 25 minutes. But you can customize your own default temperature and default time for each of the cooking functions. We'll do that now for the air fry. Press the time temperature button once to control the temperature. Turn the control knob to adjust the temperature. Turning the knob to the right increases and turning the knob to the left decreases. We will turn the knob to the right until 450 degrees. To set 450 degrees as the default temperature for air fry, press and hold the control knob for 5 seconds. The oven will beep to confirm the new default setting. Now to change the cooking time, press the time temperature button again. Turn the control knob to the cooking time that you want. For air fry, you can set between 1 minute and 2 hours. We will set it to 12 minutes. Now to set 12 minutes as the default time for air fry, press and hold the control knob for 5 seconds. The oven will beep to confirm the new default setting. For air fry, you usually want to set a shake reminder. Small foods that are stacked, such as fries or nuggets, will usually need shaking. Without shaking, food may not be crispy or evenly cooked. You can flip other foods, such as steak, to ensure even browning. Press the shake button to set a shake reminder. The shake indicator will light up. Halfway through the cooking time, the oven will beep and the shake indicator will flash. It is time to take the fry basket out of the oven and shake it. The shake reminder will go away once you open the oven door to take out the basket. When you open the oven door to take out the basket, the oven will pause cooking automatically. When you close the door, cooking will automatically resume. Preheat. For air fry and other cooking functions, you should preheat the oven before you put the food in and start cooking. Press preheat to add preheating. Then press the start button to begin preheating. The button will light up and the display will show preheat. When preheating completes, the oven will beep several times, the display will flash, and the button will blink continuously. Place food in the fry basket and insert the fry basket in the oven at the top position. Close the oven door and the cooking will start immediately when you close the oven door because we chose the preheat before. During cooking, this cooking light indicator will turn on. If you do not choose preheat, then you need to press the start button to begin cooking and the timer will start counting down. This is the fan button and the oven light button. Press to turn the fan on and off. The fan can be used with all cooking functions. The fan automatically turns on when cooking with air fry and dehydrate. To turn on and off the oven light, press and hold the button. The owner's manual is very good and has detailed instructions on how to use each of the cooking functions. Okay, that is it. I hope that you like this smart air fryer toaster oven.
Screen sharing needed controls to move the live bulb. Screen share.
So I'll just add that the video, not that these are earth-shaking benefits, but there's a light, there's a shake reminder, and there's the preheat function. That's really nice too.
It's right on trend with the air fry because everybody loves the air fry right now. So it's good too.
I'm a little too scared to do that yet, but I
I
may
can
try.
teach you how to make air fried Oreos. They're good.
Ooh, there you go, Erin.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, thank you for that. I will get the PowerPoint shared here again. Is this, no, that's not the. Is that?
We're still on the Consori and there's a video and now we're on June.
Okay. You are up, Erin. Time for your oven to shine.
All right. Okay. So, before I go through the details, the image on this slide is just an image of the June oven. And one of the things that it highlights is the glass door. And just like Laura's, it is heat safe, which is really nice for me because I have a tendency to knock into things. So the outside doesn't get hot. And also, so if you leave something too close to it, you're not going to melt any plastic cups or anything like that. Not that anyone does that, but just in case that happens. So that's important for that. The June oven is a countertop oven. It fits really nicely on just about any counter. The hardest thing for me was getting it up on the counter itself, but once it's up there, it takes about 20 seconds to set up. You just have to put your Wi-Fi in the app, and then it will set itself and all of that, which is really nice. It also changed the time itself for daylight savings, so that was one less clock that I had to change, so that's a nice feature. It does have functions similar to what Laura mentioned with her oven. One of the things that I really like about it though is that it preheats really quickly. Like some ovens, if you have to go to 350, it takes like 20 minutes, right? I set mine to 500 when I first got it. I think it was to 500 in 3 minutes. So if you need to make something really quick for dinner, at least you won't have to wait for the preheat. Another really fun thing that it can do is, even if you haven't preheated the oven or anything, if you put one of the pans in there, there's a camera in the top of the oven So it can tell you what food it is. And as long as you say, yes, that's what food it is, it will know how to cook it and know the appropriate temperatures and all that stuff. I found that out because I put 2 pieces of Texas toast in the first day that I used it. And it said Texas toast, and I just hit yes, and it went. Everything was great. So that's fun. Also, like I mentioned, there is a camera in the top. So you can, it's handy for me because if you're busy doing stuff, again, you can access it through the app and you can sort of see if things are burning or see if cheese is melting the way that you want it to, if it's on the top. You can interact with the oven itself. It's a flat panel screen that gives auditory cues. So just like any cell phone or anything, or you can interact with the app. It will also give you auditory cues when it's preheated or when your cooking is about to be done. You'll get a 1-minute warning just to say something is about to be done, and you can switch it to a warming function. So I've cooked things while I'm out walking my dog, but I've monitored them through the app on my phone. And then again, similar to what Laura said, it does come with a free in-app cookbook. I don't know the exact number of recipes that are available, but I just happened to be looking at chicken the other day, and there are at least 150 different chicken recipes, and you can type in just about anything and it will come up with recipes for you. It will tell you the exact ingredients you need. It will tell you any presets you need to use, all that stuff. So it's really neat. And it cooks things really evenly too, which is nice. That's
Super. And
everything
Erin,
for that
before we
slide.
move on, I forgot to mention, with Laura's Kosori oven, I have an acquaintance that also has the Kosori that has a vision impairment, and the oven is fully accessible. I know the video highlighted how to set using the oven itself, but I do believe those same functions can be duplicated using the app. I have not used the June oven. I do know that I would not be able to interact with the touch screen, but if it is like most other apps, there is generally, hopefully, a lot of accessibility built into the app itself. So just wanted to point that out before moving forward. All right, while I get the video queued up for the June, does anyone have any questions about the June? And I also would like to make mention, there is this video we selected, it was one of the better ones that highlighted the functions and features of the June oven. I did happen to catch use of a word in here that we don't we don't use it, not particularly, we don't use. They do use one ableist word in this video, and I just wanted to highlight that as an educational moment that someone describes the oven as crazy cool, and that is a word that we do not use in our vocabulary at MDRC. So let me see here. Is there anything happening in the chat?
I just had to admit that I thought that the camera was really cool in the June oven.
It's really neat, yeah. Yeah. I might spend way more time watching it than I need to. It's fine.
Erin, what are some of the things that you have used, or I mean cooked in the oven?
I made a lasagna in there. I made a whole roast chicken and potatoes and stuff in there. I don't know. I use it for everything because I like it. It's neat. I've made fudge in there. I've put bread to rise in there so I can make challah bread and English muffins and bagels and that kind of stuff. Basically anything. It also has a grill pan that works really well, but is not my favorite feature just because it creates a lot of smoke, but it does work really well.
Aaron, I find the handling like the smaller pans are a lot easier when you're also trying to drive a wheelchair. Like for example, I
Yeah.
can hold the little pan that comes with the kasori in one hand and kind of try to drive over to the stove where I'll leave them to cool. I think sometimes having those large, we have to think about not only what we're cooking in, but what we're cooking with. And having those
Mhm.
large pans can be difficult too. So even just the compactness of it is helpful.
I agree.
I'm having a little bit of difficulty with this video, so if you can just give me 1 second. I wanted to queue it up and I can't. They have this ad that I was trying to skip and now I'm on the Kohl's website.
Oh no.
So 1 moment, please. Okay. I'm going to. I've got the video queued up now. I just have to share. Those darn ad features. Share.
Screen share needed controls. Screen. June smart oven intelligent cooking or use toaster oven air fryer dehydrator roaster.
Is the video
Use
showing
screen share.
up?
Press F6 to switch to
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't begun playing it yet, so
live transcription closed captioning button enabled. Press F
there we go.
B.
Okay, why is it not?
to move the nice. June smart oven intelligent cooking or use main region. June smart oven intelligent watch later button. Share button. Play keyboard shortcut K button. Play K. Participants can now see your screen.
I'm gonna begin playing the video.
Enter. Subtitles / closed cap.
Welcome to another edition of Eric's Product Reviews. I'm Eric, and today I'm excited to talk a little bit about this fancy new, you can't call it a toaster oven, that we got for Christmas. And when I say we got it, I mean we bought it for ourselves for Christmas. This is the June. And the June is not just a toaster oven, it replaced our toaster oven, but it is so many more things. It is a smart oven is what I would call it. It replaces a toaster oven. It does a regular oven. It does air frying. It does drying fruits and vegetables, all kinds of stuff. And it's smart. It's intelligent. It's super, super cool. So first of all, let's talk about size. It's pretty big. You can see in there, it has a nice light in there, and I love that. Even just that simple thing. When stuff's cooking, you can see it in there because there's a light on. With my old toaster oven, if I was baking cookies, I would shine a flashlight in there to try to see how they were doing. With this, you can see clearly. Not only can you see clearly in there this way, but there's a camera up in the top. And while stuff is cooking, you can go on the app in your phone and you can see it cooking live in action. That is just crazy, crazy cool. And just a nice little extra feature. And I'll talk more about the app in a minute. But you have nice high quality heating coils in here. It works as a convection oven. There are fans in the back. It just does all kinds of amazing cool things, and it's a pretty big size, so there's a lot of stuff that you could put in here that you couldn't put in most standard size toaster ovens. And you'll see the interface here. It's kind of like a smartphone. It's a little rectangle, and it's all touch sensitive. So let's look at all the things you can do. You've got special programs. Oops, I didn't mean to go into them, but let's go into them. Look. Under programs, you can pick the type of food you're going to cook. Baked goods, meat, poultry, seafood, leftovers. And when you select something, then you get specific things. Leftover ribs, leftover pizza slices. So even without deciding for yourself which of the cooking modes you're going to use, you have built-in ones for specific things. Frozen food. Cook frozen food. Chicken nuggets, bagel bites, chicken wings, edamame. All those are in there. Go back to the front. Popcorn, you got popcorn. You've got special things from Trader Joe's or Whole Foods Market where things you can buy there are pre-programmed how to cook them in here. That's so cool. But besides the programs, even if those weren't in there, you've got bake, you've got roast, you've got reheat, slide over, you got broil, you got toast, you got air fry. Now they do sell a separate special basket that you use in here for the air frying. You've got grill, you've got proof, That's for bread if you bake. You've got pizziola for cooking pizza. You've got dehydrate. You've got slow cook. You've got keep warm. Then you've got your settings. You've got a cleaning function, and you got connect to connect your phone. So dehydrate, that's cool. So you can dehydrate fruits and things. Keep warm. I love that because after you've done cooking something, but maybe you're not ready to eat yet, you've got other stuff to cook, you can put it in there and it'll keep it at the right temperature just to keep it warm. You've got the slow cooking. So many different cooking modes besides the programs that are built into there. So really cool. As you can see, like with my toast, I cook toast in there and it comes out where I just use the toast built-in toast program and it worked good. Here's what's really cool. When you put something in there, if you put pizza in there, you don't have to tell it. It detects it's pizza. Or you put something like a piece of bread in there, it automatically will ask you on the front, do you want to toast this? Pizza, are you reheating pizza? It's just so smart that it knows those things, and that's what's so cool about this thing. Also, you've got the app on your phone. Besides looking in on the camera to see food cooking, you also have full control. You could be on your way home from work and you could go on the app and preheat the oven on your phone until it's preheat. Or you can go into the app while stuff is cooking and adjust the cooking time or set the program. All controllable from the app. Also, when something is just about done cooking, you get a notification on your phone to let you know, hey, in about 1 minute, your food's going to be done. So you know to come in and check on it, see if it needs a little bit longer or not. That's on the app. So really amazing. I mean, it's not inexpensive, obviously, with doing all that. But there are a lot of, there's several, I would say, smart ovens on the market right now that claim to be really great and do really good things. But we researched this one before we bought this one, and it had really good reviews. People who had bought it all seemed to have good experiences with it, and I would agree with those. Yes, it's not a cheap,
Okay, I stopped it there because it just goes into a review of their personal experience. Laura, I know if we can give ballpark, because there's quite a range of price points for these ovens.
Mhm.
What is a ballpark cost for the Cosori?
When I looked it up most recently on Amazon, it depends on which one you get. It was $199.99.
Okay.
And I remember the one that we purchased through the program was purchased like on a Black Friday deal or one of those days where they have a really good sale. These things tend to go on sale during those times, so it may be worth looking to see if anything is on sale. But ballpark, if we're going with Amazon, I'd say 200 to 250.
Okay. And Aaron, they made mention that it is not an inexpensive oven for the June. It does have a lot of sensors built in and detection. So this is a higher price point oven. What is the ballpark for the June?
Well, again, similar to Laura's, there are 3 generations of it. So if you get the most recent one, it's going to be a little bit more expensive just because there are more features. And then also it would depend if you chose to buy the grill pan and all of the other pans and the thermometers and things, but just baseline, the oven itself is probably about $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
But it also comes with a really good warranty. So
Yes. Okay, so I'll get the screen share going again.
And Aaron, I was wondering if you ever used the clean function on the June. It's something that Story doesn't have. Is it helpful?
I haven't used that, but I can say it's really easy to clean even without the cleaning function. All I do is take a little bit of whatever dish soap I like and put a wet paper towel, and everything comes right off. But I haven't tried the cleaning function itself. That'll give me something else to do today.
Right.
And on that note, I have used the self-cleaning feature of the Tovala, and my recommendation would be to use the self-cleaning option a little bit sooner than I did. It worked, but it didn't get everything, but full disclosure, I didn't do it with frequency. So so the Tovala, this is the oven that I use, and it's a little bit different, just as each of these ovens have a variety of features, but also are similar. Some of the main differences with the Tovala is they have a meal subscription service. You don't have to subscribe to the meal service to be able to use the oven, but that is one of the main differences with these ovens. And with the June and the Kasori, the fancy ovens, they have around 12 features. The Tovala, it says 5 in the video, but it does more than, I would say 6 to 7. And the newest versions of the Tovala do have an air fry feature and come with the air fry basket. So what I really enjoy about the Tovala is the app is fully accessible with using VoiceOver. And with the meal subscription service, you can select your food right within the app, and they deliver once a week, and you can get anywhere from 4 meals up to 16 meals if you want. Keeping in mind that the meals do usually have about a 6 to 7 day shelf life because everything comes packaged fresh. But what's neat is the meal subscription. So each meal is individually packaged and it comes with a meal card. So me being someone that cannot see, I can use the scanning feature on the physical oven itself, or I can use the scan feature within the app and use the camera on my phone to scan the barcode. And all of the preparation and cooking instructions, as well as the ingredients, possible allergens, things like that, everything that's on that meal card pops up in the app with step-by-step instructions on how to prep the food. When you're using the meal subscription and prepping your food, they generally take 1 to 5 minutes to prep each meal. You then put the meal in the oven, scan the barcode, and press start on the oven, and then it just automatically knows how long to cook each meal. The app does have, similar to the Kasari and the June, it does have access to a variety of recipes that you could choose to use to make your own meals that aren't the subscription meals. And you can create your own recipes and save them within the app. And similar to what I saw with the other ovens, if you get, I would say, more popular grocery brands, you can scan the barcode on those grocery items and it will just automatically know how long to cook the item in the oven. So it does a bake option. That's probably the one that I use most frequently. There's a broil, which I've done to cook some steak, which turns out really great. Probably, honestly, the one that I use the most is I use it to cook chicken. As someone with a vision impairment, and I just got really nervous cooking chicken. It's obviously different than red meat, right? Because with red meat, there's not much of a risk for food illness, but if you eat raw chicken, that's not going to turn out so good. So I just was really nervous about cooking chicken, and it would always end up dry because inevitably I would overcook it. So chicken, I must say, turns out so moist and so delicious using the Tovala that's probably what I cook the most. Oh, and then on this slide, it points out that if you're using the meal subscription service, all their meals are cooked under 25 minutes. And what I like when you're using the meal subscription feature and scanning the barcodes specific to that meal, there's no preheating required. It just counts that into the the, 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 the time overall. So, a couple of things that I have found, so this would not replace a microwave. It does act more like a toaster oven. The unit itself doesn't get terribly warm. I have moved things away from it just because I'm a nervous person like that, but it does get warm to the touch. Now, what you do want to be careful with when opening the Tovalet, the door opens out and lays flat onto the counter, essentially. So the interior of the door is going to be the temperature of the inside of the oven. So I have long oven mitts that I use when I'm getting food out because I don't want to burn my arm on the door of the oven when it's pulled out. And I do especially enjoy this oven in the summer months because it does not heat up your entire kitchen / house when using it. So that is my feedback on the oven. If anyone has any questions while I am prepping the video.
Kelly, is there a ballpark for the meal plan? I know you said you could do it with or without.
Yeah,
Ballpark
so
cost on the meal plan.
I haven't done the meal plan in probably about 6-8 months ish. It's probably gone up a little bit. It's like when I was doing it regularly, it was $11.99 per meal, and it might be $12.99 per meal, and it's really good stuff. It's like restaurant quality stuff that you would be getting. So and they do have, when you're selecting your meals within the app, they do have things noted. So if you need, they don't have gluten-free, but they have gluten-friendly options. They have, they'll list if something has certain allergens. They list, they have meal options for carb conscious folks. They have vegetarian options. They do breakfast, they do desserts, they do all kinds of stuff. So they do note specific things within an app. And they do fun things like chef's favorite, new recipe, things like that. So, and then the oven itself, if you do the meal subscription service and you commit to 6 weeks of meals within a 6-month period, you can get the oven for as little as $50. And if you don't do the meal subscription service, the most I've seen this oven is at $300. But just as Laura mentioned, there's almost always a Black Friday deal. All right, does anyone have any questions? Anything happening in the chat?
Caitlin said, wow, it's amazing that the June oven detects what's inside. It is kind of amazing.
Like Aaron's own cooking show.
Which is way too much fun for me. But that's way too much.
It's already starting.
The video.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it to pause. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to rewind that. Okay. Go ahead, and I don't know if this is the original link that we provided in the.
Oh, we haven't talked about the resource guide yet, and I'll mention that while you're pulling that up. So everything that we've talked about today, we have linked in the resource guide available that we can send out. So you don't have to worry about finding links or what was that thing that they said. We've got everything listed out in our resource guide.
As soon as this video gets done, I will post that resource link in the chat for folks.
Screen sharing needed controls. Assembly of Magic Wand Sparkles Google Chrome. Assembly of
And this video is
Live transcription close. Screen sharing needed controls. To move the item, press the arrow key.
Magic.
Screen share muted control. Is simply to allow magic wand sparkles Google Chrome. Is simply to allow magic escape virtual PC. Pause K button. Play K.
Is the video showing up in full
Participants can now see
screen?
your screen.
Yes.
Okay.
Space.
Actually has
Play
6
keyboard.
modes, so you can air fry, bake, broil, toast, and so much more. Toval will actually send you chef quality meals to your door every single week, and all you have to do is scan a QR code, and within 25 minutes you will have an incredible meal ready to eat. They also have an app with a ton of really easy recipes for you to make, and what makes it even better is they work with over 1,000 grocery partners to make the cooking process super simple. This oven has actually made me like cooking again. As someone who's super busy, it's a huge game changer.
Replay.
Okay, so that was just a super short
To move the item,
video.
press the arrow keys. Screen share muted controls. To move the item, press the arrow. Alt S.
So as far as the cookies that Aaron provided, I wanted to share my honest feedback. The impatience of me waiting for Aaron's cookies to be done hindered the first experience. So the oven itself comes with a baking tray, and it is smaller than a traditional cookie sheet. So they recommend doing 6 cookies at a time. And it said to, if they were frozen, if the dough was frozen, to wait for the dough to be at room temperature. Well, because I was so anxious to get these cookies baked, I did not follow that instruction. So the first cookies I prepared still turned out, but they were more like cookie balls. So they looked like they were maybe a little bit bigger than a golf ball size, fully cooked, but they just didn't plump out like a cookie. So I still ate every single one of those, by the way. So that was that. And then after my third try and having them thaw properly, they did resemble more of what I'm used to for Aaron's cookies. But those are the 3 ovens. Does anyone have any questions? And then other than that, we are scheduled to go until 1:30. I do have another video that highlights some other AT that can be used in the kitchen to do for this video that I created about a year ago. I highlighted a rice cooker and how to make an apple bake. So we'll be showing that video. And then we'll have time to go over our lending library. So does anyone have any questions before we move forward? Oh, and let me get that link for the resource sheet. And feel free to unmute, raise your hand, type in the chat.
I don't think anybody said that they think that one is the clear winner. So I think people are liking them all.
All right, the link hopefully made it in the chat.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Are you seeing the?
We see the PowerPoint.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so here is, I didn't realize the slide was right after, so my apologies. I'll get this. I'm gonna get this link pulled up. So this is just me hanging out in my kitchen. Cooking some apple bake here. Let me. Erin, while I'm queuing up this video, do you want to talk about your favorite recipe in the rice cooker?
Oh, the macaroni and cheese,
Mm-hmm.
because it's the most delicious thing ever. Yeah. I don't know the exact recipe. I should, because I've made it enough. but it's really, really easy. And it turns out to be really, really, really creamy. I might add some extra cheese because that's just who I am as a person. But it's really easy to do because you just kind of dump everything in, stir it up real quick, and then hit one button. That's the advantage of the rice cooker. And then when it switches either off or to warm, depending what style of rice cooker you
Alright,
have,
so I
and you
will
can
put this
serve it up as you want,
full
and it will keep it
screen.
warm for you. And it's really, really good. I don't know. I was looking to see if anybody had said that they liked one over the other. I think I got a text from somebody that said they liked the June.
Share, presets, cooking with assistive technology and
Amy
Apple
sent a
Pay.
text that said she liked the June.
Okay. So
Live transcription, closed captioning is
I'm
enabled.
going
Preset 6.
to play this video.
95 volume. Cooking with assistive tech. May watch later. Enter region. Account menu button menu. Main region. Complement or share button menu. Channel watermark button. Play keyboard shortcut K button. Play K. Participants can space. Play keyboard shortcut.
Blonde, brownish hair, I guess. I do currently have it pulled up in a ponytail. I have green eyes, and today I am wearing a Michigan State hooded sweatshirt, and I think it's green, gray, and white, maybe, if I remember correctly. I do have a vision impairment, but a lot of the tools that I will be showing today can work for many individuals. So here, positioned on my counter, I do have a cutting board that is wooden, and it has suction cups on the bottom. I'm gonna slide it off the counter here, and I will bring the suction cups into view. This helps position it and stay put on the counter. A little added safety measure, I think. And then this particular cutting board has a metal edge that is like maybe a right angle, I guess I would call it, that is closest to me. And then it also has two nails that are positioned so that you can place food. Like I have the apple positioned, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the apple off of the nail. The nails are two nails next to one another that are in an upward point, so you do want to use caution when using the cutting board. And I've got the apple in my right hand, and I'm going to place it on the nail again, helping keep it in place. I'm watching my fingers very carefully. And I've got a few different knife options, or cutting options I should say. And I'm going to go ahead and place, I've got cut resistant gloves in my hands here. I'm gonna go ahead and put those on before beginning to use the sharp objects here. And we will go ahead and get started on this apple bake recipe, which the recipe will be in the description of the video, along with links to these tools that we're highlighting today. So I've got the pizza cutter in my right hand. It's a heavy weighted pizza cutter. And yes, you can use a pizza cutter to slice fruits and vegetables and meat. So I'm gonna go ahead and carefully slice the apple like so, and it was pretty darn easy to do that. So I really like using the pizza cutter. Works well if you maybe have some limited strength or mobility in your hands. This next one, and I've got the cut resistant gloves on, so I'm handling the blade right now of the rocker knife. I've got the handle in my left hand, and this is a knife that is a half moon shape, I guess I would describe it as. And instead of using the forward, well, back and forth motion to cut, you rock back and forth for using it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just demonstrate how that works. Cutting the apple, okay? And as I mentioned, maybe I didn't mention it, I'm gonna be using what I would say is a traditional apple slicer to create the rest of the sliced apples here. So I'm gonna set this already cut apple aside. And let me see how I want to do this here on this particular cutting board. So I'm now going to use this apple slicer. This apple slicer you can purchase just about anywhere. I think I actually got this at a grocery store. It has two pretty durable handles on either side and what I would say is like a pie cutout almost for the apple slices, and then a circular core in the middle for the core of the apple. So you position it on the top of the apple. Let's see if I can do this here. And I always find the middle circle for myself, since I have a vision impairment. Find the middle, and then you get it sort of positioned, and you do have to have a little bit of upper body strength to do this. I think I got it a little off kilter. Yeah, I sure did. I wasn't paying attention. This will be a great demo. Yeah, it's not working, but if you did it correctly, you would be able to just push down on that apple and slice it. So we're gonna leave this put just for a moment so I can at least get the recipe going in the rice cooker. And as I mentioned, the rice cooker recipe will be in the video. We're gonna move over to the rice cooker here. And this is a bigger chunk of an apple, so just pretend that it's a smaller chunk. This rice cooker is a bigger rice cooker. They do make these in 6-cup styles. This one is a 16-cup. But what you're gonna do is line the bottom with the sliced apples, and then I have pre-measured white sugar, brown sugar, and cinnamon. And then you simply sprinkle a layer on the apples. And then you would do another layer of apple, and then continue to sprinkle the brown sugar, and cinnamon on the apples. And then you can add butter as well. And what's really cool about the rice cooker is once it's plugged in and turned on, you put the lid on, which I'm not sure where the lid is at the moment.
To the left.
To the left.
Right, touching the cooker.
That's my camera man over there whispering. Touching the cooker. Oh, there it is. Thank you. So once the lid is positioned and you've got your 2 apples, then you would plug in the rice cooker, which I'm gonna use 2 hands, safety first, right? Since I can't see the outlet. And then, when the rice cooker is plugged in, it stays in a keep warm fashion. So you want to make sure that you're really safe when you're using the rice cooker. But then you simply press down the button. Whoa, there's not much in there. And then that's it. And when the recipe is cooked, the rice cooker will stop cooking and it will be ready to serve. It takes about 20 to 25 minutes, I believe. The other added piece is if you want it to be more like an apple crisp, you can add granola at the top. I actually prefer just the baked apples, and I thought it might be a nice recipe.
Screen sharing needed controls to move the item pressing Alt F.
All right. Does anyone have any questions about the items highlighted there? I love the rice cooker for cooking simple recipes, especially if I'm not cooking for a big group. It's super great for cooking for 1 or 2 people. All right, I'm gonna put up the PowerPoint again with some resources. Certainly connect with the AT program. We have all of the devices that we have highlighted here today. We do have available for demonstration. And for short-term loan. And as Aaron mentioned in the beginning, we are a free federally funded program. So I'll go ahead and get the I'm gonna go to the Okay, so here is a slide that just highlights our email address. Laura or Aaron, did you want to read what is on the slide?
We're actually not seeing the PowerPoint, Kelly.
Oh, no.
Sorry, I wasn't sure when you were ready for that. There we go. So if you're interested in learning more about these items or some other items that you've seen today, or just something completely different that we might be able to help with, there are several ways to get in touch with us. You can email us at info@mymdrc.org. You can call us. Our phone number is 1-800-578-0280, and that is specifically a line for people interested in assistive technology demonstrations. Or you can contact us on our website, which is www.mymdrc.org/assistive-tech-program.
Awesome. Does anyone have any questions before we sign off today? And again, the resource sheet is linked in the chat. This will be recorded. Thank you for joining us on Facebook, and we will get details sent out to folks just as soon as we can. And be sure to check back on our social media pages for other events that we are doing. We wish everyone happy baking.
And happy Thanksgiving if we don't talk to you before then.
Yes. And I will just say that apple bake recipe has been a hit at many a Thanksgiving dinners. So
I'm not seeing any questions in the chat, Kelly.
all right. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for joining us on your lunch hour. We hope to see you soon.